deposits. They take deposits from companies and from individuals. Lehman Brothers is an investment bank that essentially invests money on behalf of itself and for others. No one, I think, has a Lehman's checkbook. So, there is important to distinguish between these different types of banks. Commercial banks, because they take deposits, have a certain spine which gives them a certain resilience. And you only have to look at the fact that Barclays was prepared to start those negotiations. Okay, they weren't concluded, but was still prepared to start those negotiations to show that it's still in the game and could have made an acquisition.
Dr. Walker, Lehman Brothers couldn't decide, but nonetheless, rescue plans are underway. Central banks are expected to do. Yes, the European Central Bank has already been in the markets where it's been providing over $40 billion worth of extra loans for European banks, basically to provide some sort of reassurance to the banks that other banks that they may want to do businesses will have the funds to make any payments that are due. So yes, clearly the European Central Bank has been very unsettled by events in the United States, but it's trying to put a line under it and put a little bit of confidence into the European banking system. I think there's probably some success in that, although it must be said some of the share prices of European banks are down very markedly, 7-8%.
James Edberg, there must be a concern now that there will be more victims.
Yes, I mean there are already names that are being put about as the next set of banks which are vulnerable. But the Federal Reserve and other banks around the world are doing what I think is needed to inject liquidity into the system, and that is essentially what they need to do. If banks stop lending to each other, the system seizes up, and the Federal Reserve has said that they will offer fresh sources of capital. They have encouraged the banks to come together and create